find it really indulgent. I get to eat all the foods that we're told not to eat. I get to cook my food in butter, tallow, lard, ghee, avocado oil. I get to eat all the natural fatty foods that we're told not to eat. Chicken with the skin on, pork with the fat on. I love the food that I eat. The hardest thing was sort of coming away from the bread, but we sort of stock and supply replacements for everything. So there's keto bread made from almond flour.
Yeah, see, I think the last time I was here, you didn't have that. So tell us about that a little bit, because I find that quite interesting, because that is, like you say, people struggle, I think, more with the bread side of things, because they enjoy a little bit of toast or whatever it might be.
We all love bread.
Yeah. You can't help it. So tell us about that quickly. You know,
the business, we're trying to predominantly be Keto-Pro branded products, but we also stock products by some really good UK brands, Hunter & Gather being one of them. Hunter & Gather produce a range of mayos made from 4 natural ingredients, sauces. They produce another range of MCT oil and their own collagen. So we stock their products. We stock products by a company called Fat Bar. So these are these little snack bars with 2 to 3 grams net carbs, all natural ingredients. So we're trying to stock other people's brands as well as our own to help anyone coming into the sort of keto lifestyle, help them to maintain a keto lifestyle. We're trying to make it as easy as we can for them to stick to the lifestyle. There's no excuses. You know, we've got erythritol to supplement with.
Love that. It's my favourite.
With sugar, yeah, for sure. You know, I've gone away from it because I don't crave anything sweet anymore. I don't get the need for the bread, but they're there and absolutely stunning. And these things taste. We stock bread by a brand called Crew 8, and
bagels as well, right?
Yeah, they're absolutely stunning. So I chopped one in half the other day, popped it into the toaster, put lashings of butter. It was the nicest thing I've ever tasted. You know, there's no excuses. There's recipes and alternatives for absolutely everything. And what a lot of us don't realise, what the general sort of population don't realise, is that the foods we eat are causing much of the problems that we're facing as far as autoimmune disease and any chronic illness. Grain in particular, the first thing you need to do is drop your grain. Bread, pasta, rice, it's got to go. The next thing is the vegetable and seed oils, because they're high in linoleic acid, which is an omega-6. They've got to go. If there's 2 things that you can take forward and you can't live the keto lifestyle, those are it. Take out the bread, take out the grain, and take out the vegetable and seed oils, and you're going to notice a massive difference to your life. You're going to improve all your health markers. Your energy is going to be in abundance. And not only that, coming back to weight loss, what people don't realise is the second that you eat anything with carbs in, the carbohydrates, you spike insulin. When insulin is spiked, the body puts a lock on the fat stores. Your body isn't burning that body fat when insulin is high. So we need to put insulin down, and we do that by restricting sugars and carbs.
Right, okay. Oh, that's interesting. So what would you say to, you know, like some people sort of think, okay, well, if we went to a third world country where they're just living off the land and they're just doing their thing, and you see them with the grains and all that sort of thing, what do you say to that type of question, you know?
So these countries typically are poor countries, you know, and grain is cheap, and that's why it's mass produced, and that's why we were brought up on it. You know, you could do the flip side and go to these tribes that live in the rainforest, and, you know, and all our existence, we're fast and feast animals. So we'd go days without eating, and then we'd catch some prey, and then we'd feast on it, and we'd go another couple of days without eating. We're not used to continuously throwing in food. We're not grazers, we're not cattle. So cattle have got several stomachs. They graze all day, they'll eat all day, and we're told to eat little and often. And it's the opposite to what we should be doing.
But it makes sense, because we couldn't just go and catch whatever and eat it every 3 hours, 2 hours.
Exactly.
was told to eat. So yeah, it makes sense.
So cattle are designed to process those nutrients throughout the day. We're not. You know, we've got the wolf gut, or, you know, we're lions. You know, we need to go out, we hunt, we catch our prey, we feast, and then we fast until we catch the next prey. And this is how we've evolved our entire existence. So our entire existence, we've been eating animal proteins and animal fats, and that's all we need. You know, it's a piece of red meat, for example. It contains all the nutrients we need not to survive, but thrive. Beef liver in particular is the most nutrient-dense food we can eat. The animal proteins, you know. We need to get back to that way of living. We need to take out the grain. We need to take out the processed foods. We need to take out the vegetable and seed oils. We need to take things back to basics.
Yeah. So when obviously you followed the ketogenic diet for a couple of years and then decided to compete, that's right. What made you sort of get into that? What made you think, all right, I'm gonna compete? Was it because your body changed so much, or?
My body changed, but it was more to prove a point.
Right.
The proof's in the pudding. Yeah. And I thought if I could get some quality pictures on stage, so if you can imagine, I went from being type 2 diabetic and clinically obese. If I could get an image on stage of looking half tidy, semi-fit, then that's going to carry a lot of weight to sort of back up living the keto lifestyle. So I trained for a year. I trained for a year for my first competition.
And had you done any type of training before in that way?
I dabbled in training growing up. I wouldn't say that I was an avid gym goer. And in fact, my anxiety was still an issue sort of coming into this. So I bought equipment to train in the house. So I was training in my home gym. I competed in a local competition, an amateur competition, and I came second. Really happy with the pictures. I posted them and I tried to sort of show the world, look, this is what living keto can do. And it was sort of pushed to one side, you know. So I thought, well, I need to get better at this. So I continued training and I went back and competed the next year. And I came second in a big competition in which I was awarded pro status. And then I thought, well, this, you know, now heads started to turn. It's like, hang on now. In the beginning, I was the laughing stock, so I'd go to competitions, and I was the guy, sort of everybody sort of in their own sort of circles, you know.
Yeah, and it's quite cliquey, isn't it?
It is, yeah. I was this person that was sort of pushed into the corner. That's the guy that doesn't eat carbs. Nobody wanted to come and talk to me.
Just because you don't eat carbs, I mean, really?
It goes against everything that we taught, everything that we understand and know. And then I won a competition. And heads started to turn, and then I started getting messages off fellow competitors then. They couldn't understand how I'd gained so much lean mass while not consuming carbs. So we began prepping people for competition. The following year I went back and I won the British Championship. So I became the British champion in my division. Now heads were really turning, you know. It's you're taking this lifestyle that's deemed to be no good for building muscle, no good for athletic performance. And not only was I hitting the stage in one of the best conditions, I was gaining mass year on year, and just won the British title. And coincidentally, there was at the same time, I think there was 2 other athletes that had competed that year who were ketogenic. Right. So I won my category as the British champion. There was another gentleman that won his category, and the other guy was in his category, came second. So between the 3 of us who competed, who were ketogenic, we finished in the top 3 again, or top 2 even.
Point, yeah.
So to me, it was a way of relaying my message to the public. People look at an image and they think that they've got an image of health in their minds, you know, and competing was my way of conveying that message to the general public. I've had to outwork my physique. Okay. So I've had to. So when you compete, it's almost an illusion. Right. So it's looking symmetrical and it's looking big on stage. So it's about working those areas to further enhance that image. So when I compete on stage, I'm very small, but I look big. Right. It's because the waist is narrow. Right. And the delts and the lats.
Especially for your division, right? That's important, isn't it? You've got to have that sort of narrow waist.
So in particular, I'll work on the areas that I'm weak on. So it's constantly overtraining those areas, working on those areas to give that aesthetic look of looking a certain way. But it's an illusion, you know? So I'm not genetically gifted. If it can do that for me, what can you do for someone that has the genes? What can you do for someone that can build muscle easy? What can you do for someone who is athletic, naturally athletic? I'm continuously fighting against my genes and my body type. If it can do this for me, what can it do for you?
Yes, good point. Going back to when you started getting healthier and you went back to your doctor, tell me about that, because I'm interested to see what they said when they saw this happening. Right,
okay. So, funny story, or maybe not so funny. I started going to the doctor and getting blood tests. So I contacted the doctor one day and I asked him for a blood test, And he said, are you feeling unwell? And I said, well, no, I'm feeling the best I've ever felt. And his answer was, well, don't waste my time. I said, no, you don't understand. I'm living this keto lifestyle. Well, you better come straight in then. So the second I mentioned keto, alarm bells were ringing. He had me straight in for a blood test. But the blood test had improved from the previous time. I went back sort of every few months for more blood tests, and every time my markers were improving. At which point I reversed the diabetes, was no longer clinically obese, no longer suffered from migraines, arthritic aches and pains had sort of cleared up, anxiety and things like depression had sort of subsided, dramatically. To which his answer was that, look, I don't understand why. This goes against everything we're ever taught, but it's obviously working. But I'd still advise that you stop living the keto diet.
Wow.
I never went back after that. That was enough for me. This evidence is there in front of him. This evidence is working.
The data's there, right? Yeah. The science is there.
The science is there. Yeah. And I think what he should have done is taken a step back, analysed that data, and thought, well, hang on, there's something here. Let's take it further. I even offered to be a case study, and they weren't interested. I haven't been back to the doctor since, and that was probably at least 5 years ago.
Yeah, you do it all privately now.
All privately.
Yeah, don't blame you. It is mad, isn't it? It just doesn't make sense to... But yeah, hey. So when I first contacted you, when I bought some of your products, and that's how we met in the end, if someone else wanted to get advice from you, because the thing I found amazing about you is that I was looking at the keto lifestyle, or ketogenic diet, and obviously America had more information, but I needed to speak to someone who could really advise me, and that was the wonderful thing about you. So if someone wanted to come and get advice from you, or find the right products, how could they do that? How could they come and see you?
Number of ways. So we sell supplements, keto supplements, but first and foremost, it's all about education, and I want people to be fit and healthy. You can live a keto lifestyle without taking any of the supplements, but they do help and they can further enhance a ketogenic lifestyle. But first and foremost, there's lots of free information on the website. So www.keto-pro.co.uk. There's lots of free information on there. There's free keto recipes, including keto pizzas and goulash and desserts and sides. Lots of free information. So first protocol, visit the website. You can follow us on Instagram on Keto-Pro. We're also on Facebook, Keto-Pro. Or come and visit us in store, 22 Queen Street, Neath.
Yeah, I mean that's how I found you. I was looking at keto, just Googled it, and then I found your website, ordered some products. And the nice thing is that when I ordered it, you gave your little personal message along with it, and I asked you some questions later. And then, so the customer service is really there. You really do care, and you really do want to help. And that's how, I got into the whole, understood more and got educated more. So yeah, just in case people were wondering how we met, yeah. It's I think, and Shane sort of had the same sort of thing, right?
Yes. Yeah. So Shane was a customer. Yeah, Shane was buying from us without realising that we lived sort of less than 12 miles away. Yeah. Which is a crazy coincidence, But these things are meant to be. So we're here to spread the word and make the world a healthier, better place.
Yes.
So let's do it.
One by one.
One by one.